Okay, I made you as an organizer, and please put yourself in a mute. Sure. Okay, good. Now, how this IDOC process works? What are the important things in your IDOC? Okay, IDOC stands for your intermediary document. IDOC carries the information for APP and the accounts payable. It carries the information related to your payment document. So it retrieves all the information from your payment document and updates in different fields in IDOC. So once the informations are updated in the IDOC, we do a mapping with PI system, and based on the bank format, the informations are what you call mapped in the file. Every bank, based upon the account type or based upon the transaction, sometimes based upon the country, the format will be different. So each bank have their unique format. For example, let's say some company, what they want, first the name, that our company code name. Then house bank details. In the house bank detail, bank name, bank account number, then the vendor details, vendor bank details. So every information will be put in a one specific format. Now these informations will be pulled out from your vendor master data, from your payment document, from the company code, and specific predefined fields will be there in the IDOC. Those fields will be updated. From there, we do the PI mapping. The PI system will retrieve it, and it will create a text or your whatever the format the bank wants in the text file or XML file, and it will send it to your bank. To connect to any third-party tool, okay, from SAP system, we use PI. So how the process is: SAP, then the PI to bank. Okay, so process integration, or this is called also XI, Exchange Infrastructure System, helps you to integrate to any other system. Sometimes bank system may be also be SAP. They may be also using a SAP or non-SAP. So based upon that format required. So nowadays, most of the companies, they use process integration or process exchange infrastructure tool. Okay, this is one of the tools, okay, which helps us to interact our ECC system to the outside. It has both outbound and inbound process. In the APP, we are using as a outbound process where we are sending the information from the ECC system to the PI to the bank. So in the SAP system, what we do, we generate IDOCs. It updates all the required informations. These informations are passed to PI. File is generated. Sometimes if it is required, it will encrypt, because bank data are very important. You will be having bank account number of different vendors, the amount you are paying. So sometimes we do the encryption in the PI system. That encrypted file will be sent to the bank. Bank will decrypt it, and they will upload to their system, and automatically it will transfer the funds. If any incorrect entry, for example, some vendor bank details you have given incorrectly, then it will reject the payment. Okay, it has both the process where we can develop a new tool where automatically it sends the information to the SAP system, or we manually, the bank will send a file saying that these payments are paid. Then again, you have to reverse the payment document, then you rectify the incorrect entry, that may be your bank account number or a vendor number, whatever, or SWIFT code, what are the incorrect information is there, which bank will tell because of which the payment is failed, then again you rerun it. So we have both the process where bank sends this manually, or we can develop the outbound process where again bank will send the file to the PI to the IDOC, and IDOC will read. So that doesn't come with your standard SAP, it has to develop via enhancement program. So IDOC, under what scenarios we use IDOC? Where we need to send the information to bank. In that case, what are those scenarios? Check printed and distributed at bank, all your wire transfer, DFT, or your electronic fund transfer, wire transfer, everything where we need to send the information to the bank. Even some cases where check is printed at company code, also we send information. Now most of the students ask me why. Check is printed and distributed at company code. Now let's say I have signed 100 checks. Now how the bank will come to know that which are the checks I have given to the vendor? So they should have some information so that they validate it, because it's printed and distributed at company codes. So this check information, the check number, the amount, the vendor name, only sometimes we send these three information to the bank. They will not make the payment. They will not use this file for making a payment. They will only use it to clear the checks. They will say, okay, this is the check number, this is the vendor, this is the amount. So they will reconcile it, whatever information is sent. Under that scenario also, even the check printed at distributed bank, we send the information to the bank. Now in this case, again, standard SAP doesn't come with any process. We have to do an enhancement where we check the print distributed to bank, but IDOCs are not generated, but we generate a program, we create a program where what system will we do? As I said, every information is pulled from your payment document or your house bank or vendor master data. From the payment document, it will pull up the check number from the check information field, the vendor number and amount. It will send it to the bank. Whenever vendor honors the check, gives the check to the bank to collect, they will cross-check and they will make it. If there is any variation, then they will hold the check. They will ask us, have you sent any checks based upon this and this? So that cross-check will be there. No one can manipulate or fraud the company. Most of the check processes are deal with your banks. Deal for your government payments, because most of the government payments, they do not use any wire transfer or fund transfer. I'm not saying all, okay, most they do use, but most of the thing they use nowadays also the check process. Okay. Any question on this? Kishore, this is very important, and remember, nowadays in the APP you get lots of questions in the interview. Any question here, Kishore, Vanessa?
A check is separately from the automatic payment program, isn't it? Checks are like manually they are done.
No, last session we generated the check via APP program, right?
Okay. Okay, so it might be direct debit, it might be check, or it might be even bank payments.
Process, correct.
Okay.
Last session we generated the check, right? Using a payment method, we generated the check in APP.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Yes, Kishore.
Sir, what is this check printed and distributed bank? So I mean, bank itself use the check on behalf of the company.
Correct. So on behalf of the company, there is a service which is provided at the bank where we need not to print the check. We just send the information to the bank, the vendor name, okay, and the amount we are making the payment, okay, then bank will print the check and they will distribute it.
Okay. Okay. And how this information will pass to the banks?
IDOC. IDOC only. To IDOC.
Okay. And this is check printed and dispute company code is nothing but what are checks we print through APP?
Yes. APP. This is also APP. Using APP only we will generate the IDOC.
Okay.
Using APP.
But the checks are distributed by bank here.
Bank here.
Okay, here
So
will this
I need, yes. So we need to send the information to the bank so that to print the check here to reconcile that what are the checks you have given, okay, so that those are genuine checks. Okay. See, simple process. APP, as I said in the first session, two process. One, check printed and distributed bank. Muted at company code. Another is your IDOC. Check printed distributed bank. Here why I need to send the information to the bank so that they can reconcile. So that they reconcile with the file which I send with check produced at bank by vendor. IDOC process, okay, all the for your check printing at bank, DFD, EFD, how they will do all these things. We need to give the information. So we generate the IDOC, and from the IDOC in the PI system, we generate the file, we send it to the bank. Then they will, based upon the file, they will make the payments. They will generate the payment file, or they will manually transfer or manually give the check. Okay? Any question here?
So, for the same payment, the bank will distribute the check, and parallelly we will also create one more check to reconcile the payment.
No. See, why you give the two checks to bank, vendor? One process where bank is not at all distributing the check. One
check
is company code is printing the check and distributing it. Another is company code is not distributing here. Here we are sending the information to the bank. Bank is
okay,
printing the check and distributing. Again, company code will not print the check.
Okay. So then how the reconciliation will happen?
Which case?
In both the cases.
In the first case, we send the file, which are the checks we have sent. In the second case, because they have only distributed the check, so they will have the list of the checks they have given.
Okay. Okay, fine. Sir, one more thing, what is this DFD, EFD, wire transfer?
DFD, domestic, all different kinds of payment, like we have NEFD, IFRS, different payments, domestic fund transfer, electronic fund transfer, wire transfer.
Okay, payment mediums. Okay.
Mediums, different kinds of.
Okay, sir. And this PA is, you said, process infrastructure. PA.
Process integration.
Okay, process integration.
Exchange infrastructure.
Exchange infrastructure. So this is a third-party system, or it is a?
This is third-party tool.
Third-party tool.
Which is attached to your SAP.
Okay. We have to generate this file.
That PI consultant, there is a separate consultant. Our job will be to bring the information till IDOC level.
Okay.
From the IDOC, the PI consultant or whatever the configuration they will do, and they will retrieve the information and put all the information in a specified format in the PI system and generate the file.
So then how this process will be moved to the PI, sir, from SAP to PI, these IDOCs?
PI will do it. There will be integration points are there. PI to
Okay. Okay, they will do it, right?
Yes, yes, PI consultant, they will do it. That is
Okay.
more of basis and PI consultant. We will not be involved because it requires more of integration of system to system.
Okay. Okay. So can you repeat what is the PA process?
Process
Integration.
integration, yes.
And what is exchange?
Exchange infrastructure.
Exchange infrastructure. Okay, sir, fine.
Any other questions?
Uh,
Sure, Vanessa.
Yeah, in my current project, so the billing document, talk about that right away or later?
Which one? Yes, tell me.
The billing and the invoice that is created.
Mm-hmm.
So IDOCs are used over there also, saying that to exchange the invoice to the customer.
Yeah,
Or
that is your SD process
yes,
where
yes,
sales and distribution. IDOC can be used for anything, for
yeah,
interacting with any third party.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even for the vendor invoice also you can.
Okay. So invoice and payments with the automatic
This
payments.
is purely for payments.
Payments, okay.
So coming to the configuration, it's the same. Additional, like we have to do all the configuration in FBZP. So here I will defining a new payment method. Okay. Apart from that, additionally, couple of configuration we have to do, which I'll show you to generate the IDOC. Okay. All other configurations are the same what we do in FBZP. Anyone using March 12 user ID? Kishore, Vanessa?
No, not me, sir.
Kishore? Okay, Vanessa,
Not yet.
what is your user ID?
Use 12.
12 only, yeah? Someone else is using. Okay, give me 1 minute, I'll just check with Motli which user ID you can use it. So go to FBZP. Okay, all company codes, no changes in the configuration. What was our company code? VS01 or
Yeah, PS0.
VS01? Okay, so here no need to change anything. Paying company codes, go to position. Here we need to change one small configuration. Okay, in the form EDI accompany sheet form. Okay, I'm using all these standard one, but when you go to the real time, we normally copy these and create which is ZF110. You don't use the standard ones, okay? Because standard ones can be used by across company codes. If any changes are required, it will be a problem. So what we do, we copy this one and create a new one giving a Z or some other identification. Most of the time, programs are given with a Z only. Save. Okay. Not payment method in country. Okay. So earlier we have defined one. Now we need to 1, 2, 3, 4 as a X. So no number only. Okay, 0 is not used. Correct. Don't worry, in real time we will not have those many because this is people are doing lot many configuration. That's why you are having. Okay, so I will use 0. Country IN 0. Description, your IDOC process, payments, outgoing payment. This time bank transfer, not the check. Payment document, we can ZV is for which you have already maintained the document, or we can use KZ document also. Classic medium program, this is important. For the check, we use RFF/US_C. For EDI, EDI1. Okay. In the vendor master data, if you want to make specific field as a mandatory, most of the time when you use for the check, we use street, post box and details are mandatory. When we use IDOC, we make bank details mandatory. In the bank details, IBAN is used only for Europe, other than account number and SWIFT code, we make it mandatory. IBAN, we don't make it mandatory if it is not your Euro. Collection authorization SEPA, this is completely different process, very less in use. So these two, but we use a lot. Street PO box, bank details. Now remember, this is very important. Earlier we used the check using a program RFF/C. Now we will generate the variant using this. Okay, and we can generate IDOC only for this program. We cannot use for RFF. One step back, I'll define the payment method in my company code. Remember, first you have to define the country, then the company code. BS01, payment method 0, minimum amount, maximum amount. Okay, then the forms. Okay, now I need not to give the check format because I'm not generating check. So payment medium will be ABIS. Draw out the form, my company code. You can give the my company code details. Okay, if we want this payment method to be allowed for foreign business partner, foreign currency, customer, bank, and all these three also we use a lot. Okay, foreign business partner allowed means your company code is in India, your vendor is in US. It will allow you payment. Foreign currency allowed, other than your local currency, it will allow. Customer bank abroad allowed. That means your company code is in India or US, but your bank is not in India. The bank is not in your local, in your country where your company code is received. So that time it will be used. Now see. Now the bank determination, okay, I'll use the same bank, house bank, okay, but I'll use a different account ID. Okay, we can use the same account ID also. Okay. Now, first go to EDA partner profile. Okay, this is your additional configuration which you have to do. Whenever you are using an IDOC, even for your vendor customer, that vendor customer or the house bank by which you are generating IDOC, we have to define a partner profile. That for bank, we call it bank partner profile. Most of the time, the partner profile identification and the house bank identification, we keep it same. Then click on save button. It will say warning message is not designated because yet I have not created. Just click on enter button and save. Then go to partner profiles, and this activity is done purely by technical people. Okay, if you are very confident, sometimes we do, but the partner profile, all the informations, even for the customer vendor, see, customer vendor, everything is done by your technical people. So for us, easy process, what I will do, I'll copy from the standard one. Okay, select it, copy as. The new house bank, the partner profile what I've designated, and the partner type is B, that is for bank, and complete. Save. Now here, important thing is the message type. Okay, so what message type we are using? This is for extended payment order. This is standard we always use. Okay, so apart from that, one more important thing. Here it is not there. Receiver port. Now here it is given EDIDE3. Here what we will give? We will give the PI server name. The PI server, remember from the IDOC, it has to go to PI. Here we give the PI server name. This is one of the integration points which is required in your bank partner portal. Apart from that, there are a lot many are there which basis people has to do. We need not to worry. We need to tell them that we are going to connect via IDOC from this system. Then the PI consultant has to give the application server, their server details, everything. Then in our ECC system, basis people do it. Then where it has to be received, for receiver port also PI consultant will give us the receiver port name. The receiver ported for development, quality and production. For everyone, it will be a different receiver port. For each configuration, that's why this configuration will not be stored in your transport request. In the each client, we have to do it because for each client, the receiver port is different. For development, it will be different. Quality, it will be different. Production will be different. Because development, it will go and hit your development PI server. For your testing purpose, development testing purpose. Similarly, quality system, it will go and hit your quality system. Then PI or Excite development system will be connected to the bank quality and development system. But the final, which actual payment you are making, that will be connected to your PI production system, and PI production system will be connected to your bank production system. So this configuration cannot be taken in your transport request. We will do it in the each client, and this receiver port plays a very important role. By mistakenly, if you give a production information, then the payment file will go to the production system. Then by default, it will make the payment, which we don't want to, which we created made for your testing. Okay. Now, message type plays another important role. Lot many changes. Okay, for example, if you want a specific field to change or modify, we have to do it in your message type. Again, it is a coding. It has to be done by your ABAP consultant. It has a lot many codings. In the coding, what exactly it does, it gives the details. Which field should be picked from which ABAP fields and tables. Okay, most of the time, as you know, the informations are picked in you based upon table or fields. So PAXI message type will have different fields. Those fields from where it should be picked, there will be a coding. And we can do some enhancement also. For example, let's say this particular country is there, then pick only IBAN. This country is not there, don't pick IBAN. We can do the enhancement also, which we do very frequently in this message type. Again, which is the coding part will be done by your above consultant. Okay. Now save. One step back, again save. One step back. Then the last configuration, EDI company payment method. Okay, go to new entries, type the payment. Now this payment method I will assign to my company code. Sorry, vendor master data. Company code we have already did it. Select a vendor. Go to payment transaction 2271. Okay, earlier we used the payment method. Now I will give it 0. Okay, can we use multiple payment method? Yes, but we do not suggest that. Most of the companies they do. Okay, but we do not suggest. We always suggest use one payment method at a time. But standard SAP do. If you give the multiple payment method, then in the invoice line item you have to specify which payment method you want to use to make the payment of that specific invoice. And we can specify, for example, if I give you here the house bank, other than this house bank, you cannot make the payment. Okay. Individual payment if you select. Now if you select individual payment, what system will do? For example, let's say I have 10 invoices. For 10 invoices, it will generate 10 payment documents. If you do not select it, for all the due item for 10 invoice, one payment document, then one IDOC or one check. If I select individual payment, 10 invoices, 10 payment document, 10 IDOCs or 10 checks. So individual payment also plays a very important role. When we use individual payment, most of your government payments, because in the government we make a payment for different regions. So if you club it everything, all the regions will not be clubbed. It will just give a payment. But in the bank, in the government payments, we have to tell that for which region we are making a payment. General vendors, it's fine because they will check what are the invoice they are making a payment because you are sending a payment advice. But the bank, governments, they may not check the payment invoice. All this very validation they will do it because the government payments, we are responsible to make the payment. Even they will not consider, they will not follow up or anything. So individual payment also may say important. Payment block, if you want to block the vendor for any kind of payment, so we can block it. Block for payment. Okay. Most of the time commonly used is your P. Okay. Now save 2271. I'll create an invoice. I'm not giving any discount because payment terms will come into the picture. Credit purchase. So invoice is there. I'll open an FDL1N. Now I'll execute the F110. Now for the payment method 0. So all other things are same. We always run on the current date, identification. Remember, in the same date, I can use the one identification. For example, today I use APP1. Today I cannot use it. Tomorrow, again, I use the identification. Company code, payment method, next payment date, vendor, additional log, okay, then the additional log, due date check, payment method selection, line item, vendor, then payment medium data. Now I have to create a Ignis RFF or EDI1. Earlier it used to show RFF OUS underscore C. That is for check. This is for your IDOC. So I'll create a new variant. VA01 IDOC. Click on maintain variants. So there when I was creating, I used to give check number, everything. Here it is not required. Sending company code, paying company code, payment method is 0. See, no check details. Okay. Before this, 1 second. The FBZP bank determination we did not do. We did only up to here. Okay. So bank determination also very important configuration. VS01 ranking order. Okay. Yes, see wherever the payment method configuration is there, we have to do it. Okay, I can copy also. Copy as, change the payment method. Available account amounts here. The general configuration, it is not based upon your payment method, so not required. Okay. Now, okay, account type. Now to see generate IDOC. Earlier it used to come generate check. Print immediately, print immediately. Attributes. You want to protect the variant, select protect variant. That means apart from you, no one can use it or modify it. Or only if basis people who can override your authorization. Now parameters are maintained. Now proposal. Start immediately. It will take little time because with long back only I generated IDOC, so proposal is payment proposal has been created. Okay, as I said, after that always check the proposal that everything is in green. If it is not in green, in red, that means it is some error. Now go to proposal log to find out if you have any incorrect entries. If you find there is a red button. Okay. How to read this one? It takes some time. You have to. It is not something very easy, but when you come up with the lot many error message, you will be able to understand where exactly the errors are. Then the payment start immediately. One generated, one completed. Now till this, if you do, your payment document will be created, but IDOC or check will not be created. See, now here it is line item is cleared, but IDOC or your check will not be created. So what we have to do? We have to do the printout step. Remove the question mark. Always start immediately. Give any identification. Most of the time we give the payment run identification. Give some time. It will take, because this IDA server will take some time to go to payments, print job. Okay, here no error message. Again payments, payment run. It says IDOCs are generated. Okay, but I don't trust this information on the IDOC. Sometimes we miss also. Even it says IDOCs are generated. So people ask me how I'll determine where we have given, where my error message is. My this one proposal log shows everything is a green, everything is fine. It purely comes out of your experience. Check all the configurations, or at the same time someone else might be running your foreign currency evaluation. It might be got stuck. Sometimes it happens that you delete it, again you run it, it will work. Okay, so it purely comes when you do more and more work on this out of experience. Now you want to check the IDOC. T code is WE05. In the partner number, give your house bank detail. That is your house bank number. And execute. So here it is generated. It is not connected to any system. That's why it is showing as a yellow color, still processing. If it is connected to your PI system, it will convert to your green. And our message type is, basic type is PEXR 2002, message type is DY. Always there will be another IDOC will be generated related to EUP EXR. Ignore it, it is not. Even your production system also you will get it. So need not to worry. The IDOC number here is 900745. Select it, double click on it, then go to data records. Okay, then these are your different fields. Now under E1, EDP, I1, INV, your invoice detail. Okay, this is the amount. You see, amount is 1 million. Here also. Currency, okay, here not much. Same. The date of payment date, the BLNR document, 6 all figures, that invoice document. Above that, here if you see, this is my company code detail. Sorry, vendor detail. BE is vendor. Honeywell. Okay, if you want to open. Honeywell I Street, Bangalore 112. Honeywell 12 I Street, Bangalore 91123. So, for example, I'm sending the information. I want the information for the vendor. Then I'll say in the format, okay, go to E1I DKA1 BE pick Field number NCME or STRS or ORT, whichever the information I want. Above that, ADK A1 BE is for vendor, AZ for your company code. So in the company code, we have not given much information, I believe. That's why it is not populated. So city, language, everything we have not given. So it's why it is not populated. If you give street, postal code, every information, then it will generate all the information. Then EDI DB02BB, this is actually we have to use a small user active. Okay, user exit. Here in the BB, your vendor bank details will update. Here in the standard SAP it will not come. You have to do a small enhancement or user exit you have to write. Then here, remember EDI B02BB, your vendor bank details. BA, my house bank details. If I go to my house bank, SBI JP Nagar, Swift JP, SBI 002, Swift JP, SBI 002, every information, Bangalore, my account number, 2323. I'm using the VP01, sorry, VS01. VS01 is company code, okay. P01 account ID. Okay, account ID also doesn't come with your standard SAP. You have one. You have to do the enhancement. Above this, the same few informations. The payment run also somewhere it will be there. This is the payment run. Company code. So all this information will be populated, and based upon the bank format, you have to tell which information. For example, first is my company code detail. Then you have to tell, go to E1I, DKA1, AZ, pick NAME. Then let's say my company code identification. I have to tell, go to E1I, DKU3, pick PEYRUNCC. Then my house bank details. Go to E1IDB02BA, pick the house bank name, SBI Bangalore. Then the SWIFT code or whatever the format. Each format will be mapped based upon, remember, the payment file will be unique for each bank. And you have to modify, update these information. Okay, any question here?
Exactly for what kind of payments can we use this IDOC? Check, automatic debit, and
all this.
Bank transfer?
Wherever you want bank to make your payment. Wherever you want IDOC, your bank check is printed bank. Every case, electronic fund transfer, bank has to do it. Every case where bank has to do on our behalf.
Okay. And there was that uncleared account, cleared account. Where does that fall here?
That is when you do the EBS. See, intermediate bank accounts in the IDOC process, always where DFD, EFD or wire immediately fund transfers. So intermediate main account or main bank account is not required.
Okay.
Only that is required in the case of check transfer.
Check transfer, we need no. Where do we use that that uncleared cleared accounts?
In the check transfer. All kind of check payments.
Okay. Which is not immediate, which is not direct debit, something like that. Oh.
But till the vendor honors the check, it will not work, right? So In the case of DFD, EFDY, immediately the fund goes from your account.
Okay. Okay. Fine, Keshav.
You just listen to earlier recordings, because earlier we had almost 1 hour discussion on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Any question, Kishore? So with this, we will close our APP concept, okay, and we will move it to new one. Okay. Now, shall we look into the tax procedure, sales tax and purchase tax? Now, most of the time in the tax procedure, you might have just learned of creating the tax code and assigning the GL accounts. But before going to that, to understand the complete cycle, we will try to understand how to create a tax procedure. A simple tax procedure I will create. Okay, assign the tax procedure to your country. Remember, tax is based on country. That means whatever the company codes are under that country has to follow the same tax procedure, because tax is always based upon your country. Then after the tax procedure, in the tax calculation, okay, first create tax codes, assign to GL master data, maintain tax GL account, that is tax payable GL account, or you can say tax account, assign for automatic posting. That means whenever I am making a posting, sales or purchase, automatically system will calculate the tax and update to the tax. Then customer invoice and purchase invoice. Okay. First tax procedure. Sales tax, okay, is also known as your output tax, because goods are going out. Purchase tax is also known as input tax, because raw material is coming in. Tax is calculated always based on base amount. For example, let's say I purchased a mobile, let's say for 11,000, and for example tax is here 10%. That means here base amount is 10,000. On that, tax is 10%. That is 1,000. So total cost will be always base amount plus tax. That is your final calculation. So how the system calculates the tax? Okay, always 11,000 it divides into your 110% divided by 100. So that it calculates the tax. How it calculates the base amount? Multiply by your amount 100 divided by 100. That calculates your base amount. It does in the background. By system will calculate the tax. We need not to calculate manually. System will calculate the tax and it will update. Okay. Tax procedure. First we will look into the configuration. Then I'll explain you. Because if you look into the configuration, you will get a more clear picture than explaining me in the Word document. How exactly the tax documents are updated. What are the fields to update. Okay. I'll just take you to the configuration. First I'll explain that. I'll do the configuration, then it will be easier for you guys to understand. Okay. So let's go to the defining tax procedure first. SPRO. Guys, give me just 1 minute. I'll drink some water and I'll come. Banks pay me 9,500. Then he discounts with the 500 as a bank charges. Then on the due date, that is after 30 days, customer makes the payment to the bank, then we'll do a reverse contingent liability. All the transactions are clear. Everything will be clear. Okay, I'll create a customer, new customer, so that the postings, you can view the posting clearly. Okay, before that, any doubt in this process?
No, Kash.
Kishore? Because if you do not understand the process, you will not able to understand the postings. Kishore? Kishore, are you there? Kishore, you are on mute. Are you there or not? Okay, let me continue. Okay, so I'll create a new customer. Okay, 1 second. Hello? Okay. fine, Kishore. No worries. Okay. Okay. తర్వాత నేను చెప్తాను. Okay. Call this. Okay. So when I said Kishore's power is gone, so he has left. So it's fine.
Okay.
We'll continue this topic and we'll start. Okay?
Yeah, and
So
just
in
to add,
between, I don't want it.
okay, just to add, I think I couldn't record in between the tax part. I think if I can get it
Okay.
from Kishore, if you can just let him know.
Sure. I'll just inform.
Okay, thank you.
So search term 1212 this authentication. Simple customer I'm creating just so that our postings will be clear. That's right. Okay. 6001366. Okay. First, I'll create the GL accounts. Okay, first your bills of exchange. This is your Recon account. Click on to your customer and G067. Okay, the post automatically is not required.
Kashi, your screen is. I think I'm not able to see your current screen. Huh, yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. Is it fine?
Now it's okay.
Then under expenses, bank discount charges. This is for posting your bank discount charges and liability bank bill discount. This is for your reverse contingent liability. This is your open item management and select post automatically only. Then the first integration between account receivable and bills of exchange using a special GL indicator W and OBYN. Bills of exchange receivable, chart of account, Recon account, that is your account receivable GL account, and bills of exchange account, that is. So both are reconciliation account to customer using a special GL indicator W. Okay. Next, for the discount. So whenever our bank is charging the discount, so that also has to be updated automatically. So we have created the GL account, we have to assign it for automatic post. That is OBH. Bank discount charges. Double click on it, chart of account, and GL account. Bank discount charges. Now the final configuration where we have to link bank account, my bank bill discount account, and the account receivable. Whenever I do the reverse contingent liability, system will update all these GL accounts. Key code is YK. Go to new entries, chart of account, my bank account, uses, discounting, special GL indicator W, account receivable GL account, and my bank bill discount account, which you have created in the liability side for your reverse contingent liability. Now configurations are done. First is your invoice. Credit invoice. Okay. I'll open all the GL accounts so that you can see the postings. Okay. I'll make it entries for today's date only. Account receivable, then bills of exchange, bank discount charges, bank bill discount. So account receivable which I posted earlier, all others are blank.
What is the last account, Kashi? Last account number? 1000.
Bank discount charges.
Okay.
Bank bill discount, contingent liability.
Okay.
Customer account. So for 12,000. 50. My credit sales. See, I'm not here calculating tax. Okay. The system will throw a warning message, but it will post without tax. It's a warning message. Okay. Now refresh your customer GL account. There is an open item in the account receivable only. So there is entry only to your account receivable. As of now, entry in customer master data and account receivable. Now I'll receive the bill from the customer. F-36. Your customer account. Okay. Document date and the customer account and enter. Amount is for 12,000. Why I'm receiving this bill? For discounting. Then due date. Let's say he'll make the payment on 0411 after 1 month. Okay, document overview and save. Display. Okay, this is the entry. Now if you refresh customer master data, items are cleared. That means the payments are made, it's saying. But reverse contingent liability, the bills of exchange, amount is open. Okay, so the bills of exchange, there is a open item now. Now I'll take this bill and discount with the bank. Okay, discounting, bank account, out of 12,000, let's say bank is making a payment of 11,500 and discounting with, that means it is charging 500. Okay, then click on select bills of exchange. Value date is required. Then the document number. Okay, that is your clearing document number. Fiscal year and enter. Okay, system is selected automatically, otherwise it will throw a error message. Now save. Document display. 11,000 I received the money, okay, because I discounted to the bank and charges are 500 and the bank bill discount, that is your liability account, there is a credit entry. Now refresh. So account receivable, no entry. Bills of exchange open for 12,000. Your bank discount charges is updated with 500. Bank bill discount, that is your reverse contingent liability, 12,000. Now on the due date, let's say customer made the payment. We have to do the reverse contingent liability. 04, same date. Okay, GL account. Have to select bills of exchange account. Based upon the due date, system will determine the entry. Usage discounting. If I have more documents due on the same date, then we have to specify the document number. If you have only one item, the system will determine one item. But the same date, I have multiple documents for reverse contingent liability, which is very common. Then you have to select a specific document number. Enter, because I'm posting for the future date, so there is a warning message. It's not a reconciliation account. Okay. Bank will exchange technology in the wrong GL account. Oh, sorry. Discount charges account of 50. So enter. Now save. Now with the posting, everything is clear. All the entries are cleared here. Account receivable, forget about 106 because this is for earlier posting. This is cleared. Bills of exchange is also cleared. And for the discount charges, there is a debit. Any question? Yeah.
Okay, this is the bank account, that is a debit. This is a discounted. Okay.
Because these charges are your debit.
Okay. So it is like first there's a bills of exchange and then the bank makes a payment with this reduction, and finally there's a clearing because the vendor is liable.
Customer makes the payment to the bank
And
with
okay, okay.
everything will be
Okay. Yeah.
So with this, all your FI topics are covered. Now we left with asset accounting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to Kishore if it's fine. Night around my time 10 p.m. I will schedule one session today.
Okay.
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 So we'll schedule it and we'll start the asset accounting. And
Yeah.
if we start today and tomorrow we can finish up the asset accounting.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So practice these topics, and I'll just I'll call you on the Viber and let you know if it's fine with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.